Um, what was important to me in your story, what you were sharing with us, is that after you received the chemotherapy and it didn't work, and you lost your hair, you said, "I'm going to look for something else." So what is it? What you did at that time? You wanted to be proactive, right?
Yes. Well, I realized that the other people that were having treatments were not, it wasn't working very well for them. They were either back diagnosed again with cancer or whatever, and I decided that I needed to start researching because I was very worried about the road I was on. It didn't feel like a good road, even though these were top doctors.
And what was the reaction of your primary doctors when you told them, "I'm looking for something else"?
I actually didn't tell her I was looking for anything else until I actually found something that I knew I was going to do, which was Dr. Beecher's treatment at VCI. So I called her. I could not get my doctor on the phone. She would never answer or return my phone calls. And I finally called the office to cancel my surgery appointment, which was in 2 weeks. And that's the time when she got on the phone. And I told her she said, "Why are you canceling?" And I said, "Because I'm going to do a different kind of treatment, which makes more sense to me." And she said, "What treatment is that?" And I said, I'm going to do low-dose radiation and hyperthermia. And she said, "If you do radiation, you cannot be operated on, and it won't work." And I said, "I believe myself that this is going to work." And she said, "It's not going to work." And she actually had me in tears, but I was so sure that it was going to work, and that I never went back. And I continued over here, and everything I felt worked. Dr. Beecher was positive, the treatment made sense, and I knew it was going to work. I could see that it would work. All I can say is it just made so much sense how it would kill the cancer cells and the tumor would just start disintegrating, and that's exactly what it did.
So, but at some point you felt frightened by the opinions of the conventional therapy doctors.
Well, the conventional doctors, because, I did ask Dr. Beecher if somehow it didn't go away, what would I still be able to be operated on? And he said with the type of radiation that is done here, it still would be able to be operated on. So I felt confident, again, that that was the only thing that worried me, and it made sense to continue. I just knew that it would work.
So if you had to talk to another person that was in your stage, is just diagnosed with cancer, what would you recommend regarding the treatment? To listen to the primary doctor, or try to look for something else?
I would suggest strongly that everybody do the research, and research makes so much sense because you have choices, and there are choices in getting rid of cancer, and conventional doctors usually, in my finding, have a way of making it that their way is the only way and nobody else. All alternative treatment should be looked at as a secondary treatment. And I feel now that alternative treatment is the first way to go, not the secondary way. And I think you need to be proactive with your treatment and not listen to everything that doctors, in the conventional route, whatever they have to say. I mean, you take it into consideration, but this is my body, and if it doesn't make sense to me, I'm not going to let something that doesn't make sense to me happen to me. And everybody makes mistakes, and maybe I might make a mistake, but doctors make mistakes too.
But it worked for you.
It worked for me, and I knew it would, and it just made so much sense. And I'm glad that I did take the route of being proactive. It's really important to me to be able to, have a say in what I was going to do. But
I think it's a way of living that everybody should follow in every decision in life.
Yes.
So.
You don't want someone to tell you what you should eat. So yes, some people don't eat the right foods, but if you did everything that other people told you you should do, you wouldn't give your gut, your instinctive ways wouldn't come out, and so that you might make the wrong choices by listening to what everybody else says. And what works for one person doesn't always work for somebody else, too. So everybody's got to make their own decision and do their research, and then they can feel confident about the treatment that they choose.